Chocolate is the key ingredient in my favourite sweet fast food dishes, which at their best are always irresistible, instant and utterly satisfying. So when you want an indulgent chocolate hit, my next recipe will be right up your alley. Malt chocolate donuts.
Street food is all about satisfying your cravings. These donuts are sweet, sticky, and absolutely delicious. First off, we're going to make the dough. Now, this dough takes a bit of time, but it's really exciting.
I'm heating all of the milk with the sugar.
This yeast, easy to get hold of. And when you make fresh donuts, you need fresh yeast.
Adding some of the warm milk to the yeast will activate it, which will help the dough to rise.
Just half. Give that a quick whisk. The sugar's dissolved in the milk. The fresh yeast disintegrates instantly.
Set the yeast mixture to one side while it does its job. To start the main dough mix, I'm adding half the butter to the remaining milk.
That gives the dough a nice silkiness. I want it light. So melt the butter into the milk. Flour into a sieve. That helps to make the dough nice and smooth. And you know what? When you've got a smooth dough, it sort of rises evenly.
Add a pinch of salt and 2 egg yolks. Pour in the warm milk and melted butter.
Don't start over-mixing it. When you over-mix the dough of a donut, it gets really tight. You're not going to let it aerate. Yeast in. Ooh, nice and warm. I love that smell. Now, I'm looking for a sort of elasticy texture. Just dropping off the spoon. Nice. Flour the board. Take the dough out. Lovely. Lightly sprinkle, touch more flour, and just pull it over and push in. And every time you're sort of turning it, almost like you're turning the dough into itself. The dough should just sort of relax. And it shouldn't be sticking to your fingers now. It's just nice and pliable. Set that in a nice clean bowl. A little sprinkling of flour in there. So as it starts to rise, it doesn't stick. Cover that with thin film.
Leave the dough to rise in a warm place for 60 to 90 minutes until it's doubled in size. This stage is called proving.
Now, whilst that's proving, get a pan on.
For the chocolate filling or ganache, pour 500 ml of double cream into a saucepan and add honey. Bring the mixture to a gentle boil.
Traditionally, we've always put jam in there, but chocolate and donuts, wow, to die for. Add the cream. Now give that a good mix. The butter elevates the ganache into a really nice, shiny chocolate coat. Look at that. Whoa. Give it a really nice whisk. The whisking gives it that aerated texture to the ganache. You're just lightening the load a little bit. Wow. Nice.
Chocolate filling done. Put it in the fridge to cool, then it's time to gently roll out the dough.
Just let it roll naturally, about 1.5 centimeters in depth. Slice. 1, 2. Place them on to your tray and let them rise again.
Once the donuts have had 30 to 40 minutes to rise, it's time to shallow fry them in a pan filled 1/3 full with hot vegetable oil.
Risen, but look, they're sort of like little pockets of air. Right, here we go. Place these in nice and carefully. 4 maximum. If there's too many in the pan, the oil will go cold and the donuts will come out soggy. Turn them over. Beautiful. They're going to come out into some sugar mixed with some malt powder. 50-50. How do you tell they're actually cooked in the centre? Tap on top. It should be hollow. In. And just sprinkle the malt and the sugar. Shake off the excess. I get so excited every time I make donuts. Now, look at those beauties.
These are delicious, eaten as they are. But the ganache is going to be the icing on the cake.
Piping bag. Peel the bag over your hand. Don't forget to pop the nozzle in. I want the texture, almost like a little liquid inside. So I'm going to pipe them when they're a little bit warm. Hopefully you've got that burst of magic. Operation Donut. Lift up the donut, squeeze, push in and fill. Just till you start seeing that chocolate coming out. And sit that back down. Nice. Sit them on there. They've got a little bit heavier, and we all know why. Nice. That one's got my name on it. Whoa. That is amazing. Whoa.
In great baking, as with all cooking, sometimes less is more. The easiest dishes look and taste spectacular when they're done well. And it doesn't come any simpler or more stylish than my next dish. Wonderful baked cheesecake.
For me, food always has to be impressive. But when it comes to desserts, often you see spun sugar or wild decorations. Remember, simple is always the most impressive. This cheesecake is so straightforward, yet so delicious. Now, cream cheese, leave it out of the fridge for 5 or 10 minutes. Go nice and soft. Trust me, your arms will be thanking you. Sugar in. This cheesecake is New York cheesecake because it's baked. So there's no base. Start creaming the cheese and the sugar. Spending the amount of time I do in the States, if there's one thing they know how to do out there, is the most amazing, impressive cheesecake. Rich, delicious, but so simple. Work the bowl. Lift the bowl to your advantage. Really whisk. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Lovely. Nice and creamy. Now, get your eggs.
Add the eggs to the mixture bit by bit. Doing it this way, it's more efficient.
A, you're incorporating a lot of air. B, the mixture doesn't separate. The last of your egg. Lovely. Of course, you can use an electric mixer, but why go to the gym when you can just make a cheesecake a day? A cheesecake a day. Keep the bingo wings away. Now, a couple of tablespoons of flour. Give it a whisk. Stops it from going lumpy. Now, I want to scent that cheesecake. I've got the freshness, the zest of the lemon in there. I want to sort of tart it up even more. Fold in some fresh raspberries. Sort of just mix them through. Be careful not to crush them.
Then grease a cake tin with butter. This will ensure your cheesecake slides out beautifully.
Get your mix. Let that fall in. Now take your cake tin and just tap it. The mixture hits the bottom of the cake tin. The raspberries rise and you've got raspberries at the top, the middle and the bottom. And it also stops all those little pockets of air trapping underneath the mixture in the cake tin. So there's no holes in the cheesecake. Now into the oven, 180 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. Slightly souffled up. Pull off. That's the colour I wanted on top. And look at it. It's one of the simplest, yet the most stylish cheesecakes anywhere. Beautiful.
Even if you've got a super busy lifestyle, it doesn't mean missing out on delicious desserts. They just have to be simple to make. When it comes to cooking at home, puddings should always be a pleasure and never a chore. And homemade puds are 100% guaranteed to impress. My next recipe has only 2 main ingredients, but simplicity doesn't mean food can't taste out of this world. Incredible griddled pineapple with spiced caramel.
If you're making a dessert for 1 or 2, it's got to be quick and easy. This sumptuous, delicious griddled pineapple fits the bill perfectly. Pineapple. Way of testing it's nice and ripe. The top of the leaves come out. Perfect, ready to go. Always cut a pineapple with a straight edge knife. Slice off the bottom. Turn it back over and slice the top part. Now, keep that for later. Look at the core, the center of the pineapple, and slice down. Directly in half. Slice that in half. Take each quarter and slice them. It smells incredible. Lay it down flat and just slice that core off. So you've got this perfect sort of boat of pineapple. Slice underneath, but stop as you get right at the end.
Slicing around the skin will make the pineapple easier to eat, but leaving it attached gives you more control as it cooks. Next, heat a griddle pan as hot as you can.
Start off in the corner and push it down. So you really mark the pineapple. 2 minutes on each side, and then just turn them. Really nice colour there, like that. Beautiful. I'm going to sprinkle them with a little touch of sugar. It's going to glaze them. Now, slice the top. Take out these beautiful glazed slices of pineapple. Like that.
Next up, the spiced caramel.
Now, start off with your pan. Nice and hot. Sprinkle 4 tablespoons of sugar in there. Just flatten it.
Then add the seeds from a fresh vanilla pod.
In a small dusting of Chinese fine spice. Never stir caramel. Let it sort of bubble and transform. Here she goes. Now I've got the colour I wanted. That's the perfect colour. Off with the gas. In with the butter. And then a couple of tablespoons of cream. Lovely. And then give that a little whisk. Add the rest of your cream. Nice. And just drip that spicy caramel over your pineapple. Wow.
Simple, elegant, and seriously impressive. Griddled pineapple with spiced caramel. A delicious treat all to yourself that tastes even better shared.